Evening, Miles and CMF. Pierce, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Hello, Miles and CMF. Coin, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening, Miles and CMF. Good to see you as well. Dennis, how you doing? How you been? Mike, good to see you as well. How you doing? So, I'm just open up the comment section on my screen as well. Here we go. Hi, brother Camel. Good to see you as well. Flea, good to see you as well. How you doing? Good evening, and Miles and all CMF. Good to see you as well. The previous comments disappeared, but the new comments are coming now. Stormy, good to see you as well. How you doing? So if you did put a hi or a hello at the beginning of the live show, the beginning part of the comments disappeared for some reason. So I'm getting the rest of the comments now one by one. Free and further, good to see you as well. Evening at CMF. Hope you got a bit of a rest, Miles. I did. Good to see you. How you all doing today? I'm doing great. Iman, how you doing? I was struggling to find your next. Shelly, good to see you as well. How you doing? Morning. I saw your comment for a second there as well. Anybody else that said hi, hello, or good morning or good evening inside the comment section at the beginning of the live show right now? I didn't see your comments because it didn't show it for some reason, but now it's showing all the comments. So if you did say hi, hello, or good evening or good morning, hi, how you doing? Vibe, how you doing? Good to see you as well. How you doing? Good to see you. Shelly, good to see you as well. Morning, how you doing? Denise, good to see you as well. Morning, how you doing? Evening, Miles of CMF. Jason, good to see you as well. How you doing? Brother Miles, CMF, let's go. Billo, how you doing? Frankie, brother. Evening, how you doing? Currently setting up my tangent or fees high for sending back to an exchange or low, Miles. fees in general are high, but you do get sometimes when they're a little bit cheaper than some other days. But in general, it's high fees. Hi, brother. Dennis, good to see you as well. Dennis, how you doing? Comatose, good to see you as well. Hyper Snappy, good to see you as well. XLP News, we do have Ripple news to go through as well. Yes. Good day, Shelly, as well. Iman saying, good evening, Miles and CMF. Mandy, good to see you as well. How you doing, Mandy? You sound a bit more rested today, Miles. Let's go, Shelly. Yeah, I have. I did sleep today after a very long time. I was able to have a nice sleep today. A few of the morning meetings got pushed back for tomorrow, so I was able to sleep a little bit more today. Hi, Miles CMF. George, good to see you. So how you doing? When Ripple said exclude the expert witness in SEC case lawsuit, what does that mean? Okay, so essentially the SEC implemented some documentations a bit too late. Now, Ripple pointed this out and said, well, the judge should essentially just cancel these documentations out because it was a little bit too late. But on the other subject is also because the SEC requesting $2 billion for no apparent reason. And now Ripple is essentially saying that most of their sales were outside of the country, so it's not relatable to the United States or the SEC in any sort of a way. And also that their subsidiary in Singapore was the one selling the XRP, not Ripple themselves. So again, it doesn't fall on the $2 billion in any sort of a way. At best, Ripple is correct. The SEC should be looking more at $10 million rather than $2 billion. I think the judge should be fair on that as well. Might not seem like a fair price for SEC, but it's definitely a fair price according to the law. So it's not worth storing my likes of LCX on Tangent. Just leave them on an exchange. It's better to always keep your assets stored on a self-storage wallet, because if you keep them on an exchange, the exchange can go bankrupt. It could file for Chapter 11, Chapter 15, depending on what bankruptcy they decide to go ahead with. And there's multiple other things that can happen regarding compromisation and so on and so on. So you might want to be keeping your assets off the exchanges and better on a cold storage wallet. I mean, it's completely up to you, but think of it like this, the simplest way. Because I get a lot of people messaging me, sometimes it's not worth the fees to get your cryptocurrencies off the exchange. I might as well just leave it, especially when it's on Ethereum. Might as well just leave it on the exchange because it's too expensive on the fees. Think of it like this. You spend $100, $200, $500, $1,000 on buying a cryptocurrency. The fees to transfer that crypto asset, if it's on Ethereum, max you'd be looking at as $120, $150 if it's the worst day possible. So you're paying $120, $110 or whatever on fees to get your assets. It could be more as well, to get your assets off the exchange. So think about it like this: pay $100 on fees or lose $1,000 is how you should be looking at it. So definitely keep them off the exchanges. Because you're spending all that money, all that time, all that research to buy that cryptocurrency, but you can't be bothered to spend $100 on fees to get it off the exchange. So think of it like that. Is what I would say, Pierce. It's better to get them off the exchange. Hi, Shelley. Here's what Bill was saying. So, before we start the live show as well. So, welcome to the CMF live show. If you are new, the disclaimer of this live show is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. Now, I do this live show every single night at this exact same time you're watching me right now. We talk about what's happening around the world regarding the blockchain sector, CBDCs, politics, and everything that comes with it. So, any sort of recent news we go through every single night. It's like a late crypto live show for people around the world, or especially if someone that can't sleep and you're watching this live show right now. Perfect time to tune in. So, if you're new, welcome to the CMF live show. If you're regular, let's go CMF. And we do Q&As as well, which means if you have a question, put it down inside the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. The live show has officially started now. And before we do that, let me just put my phone in charge. Sorry about this. 1 second. Just put the iPhone in charge. There we go. Done. Okay. So, let's go for the comment section. Or is it still worth keeping them on a tangent? Keep them on a tangent. ACH2, keep them on a tangent. Miles, I messed up today. For a short run, I was busy. Then I invested £3,000 in HBAR, then just went down 50%. Yeah. I've always told you a million times, never chase green candles. And yesterday, a lot of people are surprised today that HBAR isn't actually in a partnership with BlackRock. And I also made this very clear yesterday on this live show when I said there is no direct link. This was the first news we went through. Actually, the first news we went through was related to Ripple. The second news we went through on yesterday's live show was regarding HBAR. And I said to everybody there is zero direct link between HBAR and BlackRock. However, there is a link between their middleman, which is like a loop around to BlackRock. Now, BlackRock is obviously not aware of this because it's not a direct partnership, but it's a loop around type of situation. I did reveal this to everybody yesterday as well, and I said either way, it's good news. So that's what I did say yesterday. So, and I also said millions of times, never chase green candles. No matter what the project is, never chase green candles. Worst thing you could do. So you should wait for it to come back down more. Did you need your sleep to function optimal levels? Yes. But don't worry, Frankie, about it. We'll go back up. Pure, good to see you as well. How you doing? Happy Pisces, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hello, brother. I just signed in. Any news on XRP? There is a FUD that Ripple is using USDT and not XRP. USDT is Tether. I think the FUD is even misinformed. Whoever's spreading the FUD that Ripple is using USDT and not XRP, first of all, that there's no logic behind Ripple using USDT. So the person that started the FUD is an absolute moron, because why would Ripple be using USDT? Second of all, Ripple's bringing out their own stablecoin, which a lot of people are misunderstood about it completely still to this day, which is an embarrassment for the crypto space. Because how are people still misinformed regarding Ripple's stablecoin? What is Ripple's stablecoin and what is XRP's use case? They can have similarity regarding use cases, but there are more use cases on XRP's basis rather than a stablecoin. Stablecoin can be used as a middleman transaction, but so can XRP. But XRP also can be used as a gas token for, I don't know, tokenization, which is one of the biggest market spaces out there. So they do have different purposes, but both of them can be used for one of the same purposes. But the rest of the purpose is all on the XRP ledger, which is relatable to XRP because it's the gas token. Hello to all our members on X from YouTube. Let's go, Shelly. So yeah, regarding that, Abel, that's what that is. And I didn't mean moron towards you in any sort of way. I meant moron towards the person that's spreading the FUD. Hello, friends. Messi, good to see you. So how you doing? HBAR will go up, but after investing in it, then I just saw it go right down. Lol. What is ESDR? Is that the crypto project you talked about? What time I will never chase the green candles. Next time I will never chase the green candles. Yeah, never chase the green candles. Worst idea, trust me. If you invest in green candles, you will get. I can't say that. I can't say that in the comment section. But Messi's comment inside the comment section is too funny. Because I said you should never chase green candles, Messi said if you invest in green candles, you will get red. I can't say the rest of the word. First time ever, I fell asleep yesterday. Then I saw your live this afternoon just before the dip. Woodhouse, good to see you. How you doing? Miles, when you have two Tangent wallets on just one phone, in case you get hacked, will both wallets be gone because it's one phone, or no, only one wallet? Only one wallet. Depends on the wallet that gets compromised. Both wallets, it's very unlikely that both wallets will get compromised at the exact same time, unless you've been, maliciously attacked by a very, very strong malware inside of your phone that essentially gets through to both of them. But the dominant wallet, the one that's active the moment you open the app, is going to be the one that becomes compromised if it's a malware for your phone. Now, if it's you getting compromised on a website, then it's going to be the wallet that's linked to the website itself. I'm a spanner. What does that mean? I'm a mod or something? Spanner? A spanner's not a good word. I don't know. Who called you a spanner, Woodhouse? Good day, Miles and family. Troy, good to see you. So how you doing? How you been? By the way, I want to say thank you so much to everybody that's retweeting this live show. Absolutely amazing. Thanks so much to everyone that's retweeting this live show. I'm getting notifications back to back on the top of my phone right now. Thank you, my brother. No problem, Abel. Anytime. Good day, Miles and family. Let's go, Troy. Hello, Miles and CMF. Solomon, good to see you as well. How you doing? So, on today's live show, we have quite a bit of news to go through. A lot of things happening around the world to go through on today's live show. For example, I'll give you the titles and then we'll go through what they are one by one. So the gist of it is the things that we're going to be going through on today's live show. Ripple CLO stresses that Gary Gensler is damaging the SEC's reputation with abuse of power and how much damage he's done so far. The next news we're going to be covering on today's live show is regarding BitMEX's former CEO Arthur Hayes, who forecasts that Bitcoin is still on the path to $1 million, according to him. The next news we're going to be going through on today's live show is regarding Bitcoin wallets holding at least $1,000 are growing in positive trend, according to Fidelity. So according to analysts from Fidelity, there's actually towards a positive trend still going on regarding Bitcoin and the retail section. The next news we'll be going through on today's live show is regarding S&P 500. The S&P 500 S&P Global Index essentially has given their input on the stablecoin bill that's recently been announced inside the United States. And we're going to go through their viewpoints of how they see the bill, the stablecoin bill inside the United States from the S&P Global Index essentially opinion. We're also going to be going through regarding Bloomberg analyst and how he has warned that Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs are about to launch. Warn is not, it could be used as a bad term and a good term. He's using it as a good term regarding BTC and Ethereum spot ETFs have actually got the green light fully to start launching in Hong Kong now, which we'll go through on today's live show as well. We're going to be going through Chainlink as well on today's live show. Some interesting news came out from Chainlink. We're also going to be going through a crypto project, you could say, or crypto bank that Warren Buffett was invested into. And his assets still are, obviously his company still assets are still invested in this project. But when Warren Buffett was alive, when Warren Buffett used to talk about cryptocurrencies, he used to say they're Ponzi schemes and they're absolute scams. But a lot of people didn't know that Warren Buffett was actually invested into a lot of crypto platforms and banks through subsidiaries, which will go through one of the projects he's invested into. CBDC Eurosystem has little user data visibility, which we're also going to be going through on today's live show regarding CBDCs and the Eurosystem. We're also going to be going through regarding the Bank of England today as well, regarding interest cut rates. We're also going to be going through regarding the United States and how the United States is coping right now, and are things going to start picking up in any sort of a way for the regular folks. We're also going to be talking about JP Morgan and how their CEO is talking about the economy regarding the United States market space. And we're also going to be going through regarding the DOJ, who has today made a very good arrestment, let's say. But we'll go through that as well. But $2 billion case, a $2 billion case was just, the guy that was running this show just got arrested. $2 billion in cryptocurrencies, all in frauds. We'll go through at the end of the live show regarding that one. So, we'll start with the first news. Miles, Hong Kong was supposed to be buying up BTC's ETFs this week. They were supposed to, yes, and now they got the green light. So things are starting to look good. So, first news. Ripple CLO. Ripple CLO stresses that Gary Gensler's damage to the SEC's reputation with abuse of power is getting worse. So according to Stewart, the chief legal officer at Ripple, has once again slammed Gary Gensler for his misuse of power as the chairman of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. He said that the SEC has been sued for abuse of power more times under Gary Gensler's leadership than the agency was sued during the regime of 3 long-serving chairmen combined. Now that is an embarrassment. 3 chairmen before Gary Gensler weren't sued as much as Gary Gensler is sued right now, because there's a new lawsuit against Gary Gensler and the SEC from Texas. This was in reaction to the latest lawsuit filed against the SEC by the Blockchain Association, BA, and the Crypto Freedom Alliance of Texas, CFAT. The Blockchain Association, BA, a trade group representing the blockchain industry, and the Crypto Freedom Alliance of Texas, CFAT, a Texas-based crypto advocacy group, filed a lawsuit against the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to challenge the agency's recent expansions of the definition of the term dealer under the Securities and Exchange Act of 1934. The BA and CFAT argue that the SEC's interpretation of the term dealer is overly broad and ambiguous. They contend that the expanded definition creates uncertainty for businesses operating digital asset space and stifles innovation as well. Additionally, the lawsuit alleges that the SEC failed to follow proper administration processes when implementing the dealer rule expansion. According to the BA's official statement, the lawsuit seeks to have the court overturn the dealer rule expansion. The statement criticizes the rule of being arbitrary and unclear. The BA argues that the rule harms the development of digital asset industry and encourages the SEC to regulate through unwritten rules and guidance rather than established procedures. So, Mr. Gary Gensler once again is under the light. He's being sued by a crypto freedom advocacy group from Texas and the Crypto Association as well. They're also going after Mr. Gary Gensler and the SEC for abusing his power. Now, they're going after him specifically for one key factor. The term Gary keeps on using as dealer and keep on calling everybody securities. As we all know, Gary Gensler, SEC, goes around and pretty much calls any crypto project a security. Even though a judge told them once that, for example, XRP is not a security in secondary markets. A judge told them twice that regarding Coinbase selling crypto assets is technically also secondary markets and therefore it's not securities. So far we've had 2 judges come out and say to Mr. Gary Gensler, if it's on secondary markets, it's not a security, because they tried this with Ripple and failed. Then they tried this with Coinbase and they failed, because they said the same thing regarding Coinbase. They're selling securities. The judge said, no, they're not. And that was recently as well. Again, nobody paid attention to that as well. So twice so far they've been called by the judge as BS. But he still goes around and uses the word. And now they've decided to sue him to make him stop using this word and stop putting it inside of court documentations and keep on calling everybody securities when they're not. So good on them for suing Gary Gensler. Let's just go for the comment section before we get to the next news. By the way, if you have any questions, put it down inside the comment section. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Miles, do you know why did all the markets went down? Miles, do you know why all the markets went down? Just a little bit of slight manipulation, but don't worry. It's just corrections going on in the market. It's only 2 to 3%. The market's not really down. It's only down 2 to 3%. 2 to 3% is an absolute joke inside the crypto space. Okay, inside the crypto space, we go down 20%, 30%, 40%. That is what we're used to. Not 2 to 3%. Everybody should relax and start, not putting resemblance of the stock market inside the crypto space. On the stock market, it's alarming when something's down 2 to 3% on their assets and their portfolios. Inside the crypto space, we go down 40% today, and by next week, we're up 50%. So 2 to 3% down on 1 day is perfectly fine inside the crypto space. Let's say on legitimate projects, by the way. So don't worry, everything's fine. Let me see where I was. I was here. Just brought XRP. Let's go. Let's go, Messi. A spanner comes up next to our names because we are mods, mouse. Lol. Ah, okay. The spanner comes up. Okay, now I get it. So yeah. So because you're mods. Good. I thought somebody called Woodhouse a spanner. It's YouTube using the logo as in you're a mod because you're fixing things. Yes, makes sense. Thank you for pointing that out, Shelly. Sleep Mouse, we need your brain cells on alert to stay on top of all the top foolery inside this space. Let's go, KDC. There's a spanner next to me below and Shelly's name. Yes, because you're mods. That's why. Shelly, thanks so much for pointing that out. Do you think the SEC will ask for extension for May 6th? They could do, and the SEC, could do whatever they want. But at the end of the day, this case will end because they have nothing else to battle on. Good evening, Miles and CMF. David, good to see you. How you doing? Hi, all. Any updates on Trust Wallet, Miles, regarding I have any issues with Trust Wallet? What's your issues with Trust Wallet? Is it not working properly? Who wants to bet 50 XRP? SEC will appeal. Who wants to bet 50 XRP? SEC will appeal. If anybody wants to take on Messi's bet, he's inside the comment section. He's betting 50 XRP that the SEC will appeal. Miles, Hong Kong were supposed to be buying a BTC ETFs this week. Yes, they are, and we're going to go through that as well. Hi, Miles, all in the CMF. I'm a bit late, not much. No, your perfect timing, I would have to say. Good to see you. Good evening, Miles and CMF Talk. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Bloody predictive text. Problem. I think Gary G power has gone to his head. Yes, Gary Gensler's power has definitely gone to his head. I mean, you can easily tell Gary Gensler was this child that used to get bullied in school, and now he has all this power inside the SEC and he's abusing it. But you can also tell that he is definitely, one, abusing his power, but two, somebody's leading Gary to abuse his power. Gary's not intelligent enough to be doing all these maneuvers. He's definitely not intelligent enough, or without a doubt, to be doing any of these maneuvers. There's somebody telling Gary Gensler what to do and what to say. And how do I know somebody's telling Gary Gensler what to do and what to say? Well, for one instance, we had Elizabeth Warren, who decided to bring Gary Gensler up on the stand. And before she brought him up on the stand, she gave him a list of questions and a list of answers he should be using when he's up on the stand and when she's questioning him. So that's how I know somebody's telling Gary what to say and what to do, because we have evidence on that. So yeah, Gary's not intelligent enough to be doing what he's doing. Somebody's telling him what to do and what to say. And it could be more than one person. Do you think the lawsuit could end May 6th? I said 2 weeks after that, latest, but it could stretch out a bit more. But either way, I also did say this year is the ending of that lawsuit. Do you think Judge will ban ODL sales? And if she does, what will Ripple do instead? No, the judge won't ban the ODL sales in any sort of a way at all. She won't do that. And regarding Ripple selling XRP, it wasn't direct. Ripple was never selling XRP directly to anybody. Ripple was selling XRP through a subsidiary, and this is according to Ripple themselves and according to Monica Long, who's the president essentially of Ripple Labs, of Ripple. They were selling XRP through a subsidiary in Singapore under Singaporean law, which is essentially a Ripple subsidiary inside of Singapore with a license from the Singaporean government. They were the ones distributing the XRP, technically, and it wasn't Ripple themselves. So it's not relatable to the United States in any sort of a way because it's under the Singaporean law, technically. So everything is on the books. Nothing's hidden. Ripple's showing full transparency. So no, the judge won't ban the ODLs in any sort of way. Gary Gensler is a weasel who is Mitsubishi little boy. Yep. Yeah, it's the taxpayers that pay for Gary's misdoings. Yes, that's true. It is the taxpayers who are paying for Gary Gensler's misdoings. Hey, Miles, hope you're well. I'm doing great, Khalid. Good to see you as well. How you doing, brother? Even Miles and Crypto Peeps, good to see you as well, Semper. How you doing? I thought Trust Wallet was compromised. Trust Wallet was compromised a very, very long time ago. Not anytime soon, no. How often does your tangent balance update? Every 5 seconds. 2 weeks. 2 weeks after May 6th or May 22nd. It could go to May 22nd as well, but in general this year. So, second news to go from today's live show is this one. BitMEX former CEO Arthur Hayes forecasts Bitcoin's path to $1 million. Arthur Hayes, the former CEO of BitMEX, has recently shared his insights suggesting a potential surge in Bitcoin's price due to ongoing global monetary policies. In his latest blog titled Left Curve, is what he's calling it, Hayes discusses the implementations of physical strategies on cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin. Arthur also continues to back his prediction of Bitcoin's value to $1 million. He reminds his readers why the bull market will continue and prices will get on the upside as we go along. Will continue on the upside as we go along. Economic dynamics and Bitcoin positions. According to Arthur Hayes, the consistent increase in the fiat money supply could continue to bolster the crypto market. He notes that the government around the world are likely to persist in their money printing activities to manage their national debts, a suggestion that could disparage fiat currencies and strengthen digital assets like Bitcoin. It is true, definitely, the more governments print, obviously, fiat currencies, the more people will run towards digital assets. It makes sense, logically, because people want assets that aren't being inflated, and crypto isn't being inflated, depends on the crypto project. Moreover, Hayes touched upon the upcoming US presidential election in 2024, suggesting that political motivations to sustain or boost economic perceptions might lead to increased monetary expansions. He presented data indicating that economic downturns during election years affect essentially the market space, which it does. During the American election times, the market space definitely gets affected heavily, especially now that all the candidates are crypto related. So we have Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe wants to implement CBDCs. He wants to bring in, tough rules and regulations for crypto taxing and so on. And for Bitcoin mining institutions, he wants to increase the taxes. Even today, he came out and said he wants to, raise the capital gains tax to about 44%, if I'm not mistaken, which is absolutely ridiculous. But so we have Sleepy Joe, who's absolutely greedy. So we know where he stands inside the crypto space. Then we also have on the other side Trump. We have Trump, who is into cryptocurrencies. He's produced 3 NFT projects of himself, essentially, on Ethereum's chain. He's against CBDC, so we know where he stands. And then we also have Robert, Kennedy as well. So Junior Kennedy, we have him as well. And he suggested that he's a big fan of Bitcoin. And he said, if I become the United States president, then I will put the entire country's debt on the blockchain so that everybody can see it, full transparency with what America's next movements are with taxpayers' money, which I think is a great idea as well. So you do have 3 candidates inside the United States market. And for the first time ever, the entire election is about crypto. So one president is saying, I'm for crypto, but more for CBDCs, Sleepy Joe. One president is saying, I'm against CBDCs, but in it for, NFTs and cryptocurrencies, Donald Trump. And the other one, Kennedy, just big fan of Bitcoin. He wants to put everything on Bitcoin and so on. Very leaned towards cryptocurrencies this entire election right now. So yeah, I do agree with what he's saying regarding the markets being heavily impacted by the elections, especially this time around. The path to $1 million for Bitcoin. While Arthur Hayes, did not set the specified new price targets for Bitcoin, he remains optimistic about its journey towards the $1 million mark. He acknowledges the challenges, points out that the broader macroeconomics environment that has previously fueled Bitcoin's rise could intensify further. So he's saying so far we've had a few institutions, more than a few, entering the crypto space regarding BTC ETFs, which have pushed Bitcoin's price points to new highs and, held its price, not at the new highs, but held its price somewhere. And he's saying that this is going to continue moving forward. More money is going to be coming in from institutions. I agree. The reason why I agree with him that more money is going to be coming in from institutions, especially towards Bitcoin ETFs, is because the data keeps on coming out and BlackRock keeps on breaking records. The market might be down 2 to 3% on Bitcoin, for example, but BlackRock behind the scenes, they're still smashing their targets. They went from 12 billion to 15 billion to 17 billion, now to 18 billion worth of assets on BTC ETFs, which is absolutely crazy. And then we have Fidelity also breaking records, who's sitting at number 2. We also have Van Eck, who lowered their fees to 0 fees if anybody wants to buy BTC ETFs from them, just so they can get in the competition. We also have recently Grayscale filed for a mini Bitcoin trust because their original Bitcoin trust, the original Bitcoin ETF they have, has a fee of 1.5%, which is absolutely ridiculous when BlackRock has 0.20%. And they decided to bring out their new Bitcoin ETF with 0.015%. Apologies about that. That came out of nowhere. Sorry about that, everyone. So, as Bitcoin, just to go back in this, but yeah, I agree with him completely. More money is definitely going to be entering the crypto space from these Bitcoin institutions. Definitely, without a doubt. So much money was headed towards the market space. We also had recently BlackRock open and expand their Bitcoin ETFs to the Saudi Arabian markets recently as well. That was major news. They still haven't opened their doors yet, but it's still major news. Expanding to the Saudi Arabian market, they do have a lot of money, especially because of oil and gas dealings and tradings that they do. We also had BlackRock open their doors to 5 other major establishments like Goldman Sachs and Vanguard and so on regarding BlackRock ETFs. They expanded even more. So yeah, I fully agree with him. More money is definitely heading from institutions into the crypto markets as we speak. It might be in small amounts right now, but they're going to start sharpening up because the data does show that they are growing regarding their portfolios. Now, as Bitcoin continues to gain attention as potential safeguard against inflation, especially with a robust US dollar impacting emerging markets currencies, more financial experts are recognizing its value in the current economic landscape, which is also true. A lot more countries are, essentially coming to the conclusion that they should be inside the Bitcoin market. We do have Bitcoin cities. We also have a lot of countries adapting into BTC. And today, out of all days, Hong Kong also opened the stores officially to Bitcoin ETFs. They've been given the green light fully now. Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs as well. So the first Ethereum ETF has came out of Hong Kong rather than the United States. How often? Just go back. So now let's go in the comment section before we go to the next news. And the next news is about Fidelity regarding what they think so far in the market space. So let's go to the comment section. By the way, if you're watching this live show for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show. If you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to help you out. And we are live right now on X and YouTube at the same time. So welcome to people that are watching on X and on YouTube. How often does your tangent? 5 seconds, we're going on tangent. Miles, brother, have you updated your portfolio on Telegram on long holds and short terms? I haven't, no, because I'm still moving about a lot of assets. I'm going to be putting my new portfolio on Telegram most likely in 2 days because I've moved a lot of assets around. Mine's isn't updating every 5 seconds. It's like every 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes is what I meant. It's not every 5 seconds. I was being dramatic. But yeah, every 3 minutes. So to be clear, Trust Wallet is safe. Trust Wallet is safe. Now, Trust Wallet has been compromised once, majorly, when it was for $150,000. It was a random compromisation, but they paid it out. Everybody that got affected, they paid them out to keep everybody hush-hush because they don't want to ruin their reputation for $150,000. Now, obviously, if Trust Wallet was compromised for millions of dollars, they're not going to be paying out any money. They'll just let the app die and they'll just create a new app. So it makes sense why they want to fix their reputation for $150,000 rather than millions of dollars. But yeah, no, it's okay. There's no issues with it. What will happen? As long as you don't compromise yourself, what will happen with Tether, in your opinion? What will happen with Tether, USDT, in my opinion? God bless you, Miles. Thank you so much, Foxy. XLPD, bless you, Miles. Thank you so much as well. What will happen with Tether, in your opinion? Regarding Tether, I mean, we do have some news to go through regarding tethering here, because what the S&P thinks of it, for example. And we'll go through it in a bit as well. It is this, the fourth news we're going to be going through on today's live show. There's a lot of news to cover on today's live show. But regarding Tether, there's the full transparency issue regarding Tether, which I've discussed yesterday with everybody as well. There's pretty much no trust on Tether because we don't know what they're backing their assets with. They claim they're backing with a lot of things, but we've never seen it. They print USDT randomly, just like the US does, regarding US dollars. So there's multiple issues with Tether. Now, and the US is not a big fan of Tether either, at all. We've seen that multiple times with the US Treasury trying to go after them. Circle trying to put pressure on the US Treasury to go after them. We've also had the S&P once go after Tether and say it's the worst currency ever. So regarding a stable coin, they ranked it the worst ever regarding S&P Global Index when they did a ranking of all stable coins inside the crypto space, which is massive regarding them doing a study test, and they tarnished their reputation on USDT. But yeah, there's multiple issues with Tether. And regarding my opinion of what will happen to Tether, I think they're going to stifle it. Because think of it like this: America wants always full control, and America always gets full control. No matter if people don't want to hear this or do want to hear this, if you live in today's world, you should know for a fact that America always gets what it wants. And I explained this with a simple analogy regarding Binance, for example. When Binance was the biggest exchange in the world, essentially crypto exchange in the world, it still has that title, obviously with some major changes with their CEOs and CZ and so on. But at one point in the world, everybody was working with Binance. I mean, Binance had a license from Germany. They were working with the UK market. They were working with the UK market. They were working with the EU market. They had licensings from Singapore and Japan and Saudi Arabia and the UAE and so on and so on. And they were massive. And then one day, America just decided, no, we're going to go after Binance. One by one, all of those countries said, yep, we're going to stop doing business with Binance. And Binance was so big up to a certain extent where they were rejecting the EU. For example, the EU turned around and said to Binance, remove some tokens, like privacy tokens, because we don't like them. And CZ said, I'll think about it. Other exchanges inside the crypto space said, yeah, no problem, we'll remove the privacy coins, no problem at all. CZ said, I'll think about it. That's the level he was at. And then he came back and said to the EU, no, we want to give people the freedom of choice on Binance. You don't get to tell us what we can do and what we can't do. That's the level of, that Binance was at, where they could do anything they want. They were, dominating the market space. And then one day the US comes knocking on their door, CZ's pleading guilty, held in America, and then the other side, essentially we have Binance's CEOs being replaced by World Economic Forum members. More government entities entered Binance than they ever sent over for Pablo Escobar. So they shut it down. They got full control of Binance when everybody else was working with them. And a lot of people dropped their licenses. That's just the power America has. For example, America was sitting on the sidelines. And from the sidelines, they were able to get full control of Binance. From the sidelines. Just a point, of how much it is. So what we need to understand is, even regarding Tether, if Tether doesn't decide to play ball with the US, and America has no control over Tether in any sort of a way, they have full control over Circle because this is in the United States, but they have no control over Tether. And if America wants control, America gets control. That's just how things work. If you want to, a lot of people don't like to hear it, America has all this power, but it does, and it's the reality of the world we live in. It has all the power inside the financial space. It has all the power inside of politics. America says or does anything, it impacts the world. It impacts the stock market, it impacts the crypto market, it impacts the health markets, it impacts every market space when America points and says something. And you might think to yourself, well, there's Sleepy Joe. Don't look at Sleepy Joe. Look at BlackRock, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and the list goes on. Look at those. Don't look at Sleepy Joe as the face of America. Okay, he's just a face. The talking is coming from somewhere else. So, and they were doing this from the sidelines. So if America wants to, tomorrow they can turn around and say, we're sanctioning Tether. That's it. Game over for Tether. Honestly, America, not saying they will do that, but tomorrow America could turn around and say, we're sanctioning Tether. It's pretty much game over for Tether. Every exchange, if they want to operate inside the United States or the EU markets or the Asian markets, will have to drop Tether. Otherwise, they can't operate. Because they know they'll be targeted next by the US. That's just how it works. And the UK listens to the US as well. The US went after Binance. The UK dropped Binance. The US went after Binance. The EU dropped Binance. The US went after Binance. Philippines dropped them. Vietnam dropped them. This dropped them. That dropped them. Everybody dropped them one by one. Because nobody wants the beef with the US markets. They're not going to risk their entire country's economy on, Binance or on Tether. They couldn't care less. And then also a lot of people say, the US dollar is going away, it's going to zero, and so on and so on. I'll be very clear for everybody. The number one currency that's dominating the world still in the fiat world is the US dollar. The number one currency, stablecoin, that is dominating the crypto world is still the US dollar. Just for in perspective for everybody. Because a lot of people like to forget about that major point there, where the traditional market space is being dominated by the US dollar. and so is the digital space. The number one stablecoin is what? Is the number one stablecoin inside the crypto market, yen, the Japanese yen, the Chinese yuan, or the Russian ruble? No, the number one stablecoin inside the crypto market is the US dollar. It's on both market spaces and it's dominating both of them. So just point that out as well. But yeah, they could just turn around tomorrow and sanction Tether, and that's pretty much game over for Tether. If they wanted to. God bless you, thanks, Fox Lady. Let's go. Bless you, thanks. Let's go as well. And Hong Kong has set the launch date for BTC and ETH on April 30th. Yes, that's true. Let's go, Shelly, with the news. And yeah, we're gonna go through that as well. Hello, how you doing, Shelly? ETFs, yeah, that's the one. Don't forget about iMessage problem with trust on Apple mouse. Yes, that's true as well. A while ago, I reviewed how Apple, so iPhone, anybody using anything from iPhones or MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs and so on, don't connect your MacBook Pros or MacBook Airs or iPhones to any sort of crypto devices, okay? Because your devices, your Apple devices, are extremely vulnerable to crypto hacks. Okay, Apple's got the worst system apparently for crypto hacks. Now, Apple was fully aware of this, but they didn't release a bug, a patch to fix this bug. And if you do own an iPhone, I reviewed this, weeks ago, that you should be turning off your iMessage. If your iMessage is on, even if you don't click on the link, you can still become compromised. Your trust wallet can still become compromised on your iPhones. And I own an iPhone and a MacBook Pro. The good thing is I also own a Samsung and a Samsung Galaxy as well. So I own both of them, on the phone and the laptop, and the other way around as well. But yeah, that's not good to hear, because regarding Apple, everyone assumes it's the best, it's the best, it's the best. Turns out in the digital world, it's the worst. So definitely turn off iMessage. Just inside your settings, go to your iPhone settings. Just use the search bar inside your iPhone settings. Just type in iMessage, and then it'll come up. Turn it off. If Tether crash, BTC will crash and whole market. If Tether crashes, BTC will crash and the whole market will crash. The market will obviously go through a massive correction type of pullback situation if that news ever does come out. I don't think they'll do it like that, but you never know. If they want to manipulate the market heavily, they could do like that. But either way, Bitcoin is still backed by Bitcoin, XRP is still backed by XRP, XLM still backed by XLM, Solana still backed by Solana. And what I mean by that is the asset itself is still backing itself. When people are holding their assets off essentially exchanges, for example, if the crash happens on Tether, the $18 billion BTC being held by BlackRock is not really going to get affected. Price movements, yes, it would, because of the FUD, because of the panic sellers, and so on and so on. But they're still holding the asset. So the asset itself is still backing the asset. It's just the pairs that are going to affect it for a small period of time until they get off the exchanges. But they could do it if they want to do massive manipulation on the market space. That would definitely be more massive manipulation. But I don't think they will do it in that sort of manner. I think they will do it in a manner of replacing Tether rather than sanctioning them to crash the market space in any sort of way. And it wouldn't affect it that much, but the panic sellers will make it worse, and so will the news. Good, but think of the positive. With every negative, there's a positive. The positive will be everything will be on sale for the last time ever. And think of also shorting the market at that very moment in time, and then longer the market back up. You can make money three ways. If Tether ever gets impacted by sanctions or whatever, and recently, obviously yesterday, I revealed that Venezuela is going to be using USDT for oil trades. Now, Venezuela is about to go into a US sanction. That's for who knows, God knows how many years Venezuela is about to go inside of a US sanction. Now, Venezuela announced that if anybody wants to do oil trades with them, they have to start using USDT, which again just gives more fuel on the fire for America. It's just, first we had Russia using USDT to avoid sanctions, then Iran using USDT to avoid sanctions, then North Korea using it, now Venezuela using it, and more countries that are sanctioned by the US are just going towards USDT. It's going to get to a stage where the US is going to be fed up with USDT and Tether because they have zero control over it. Now, USDT obviously does go around and also blacklist wallets as well, but for example, $2 billion passed through USDT for Russia when they were on the sanctions. Go back. For a second, the signal went out again. I don't know why that keeps on happening. Good day, bro. Zaman and Lobster wallet are safe, and what hardware wallets can you recommend to use? Thanks, bro. Yeah, Zoom is good. It's good to go. Zoom is good to go. Don't worry about it. Yes, we can see you. Good. Yeah, because for a second the connection thing came up. But no, Zoom is good on the XRP Ledger, the wallet, and Lobster is obviously on the Stellar network, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Lobster, I've only used it a few times. Zaman wallet or Zoom wallet, whichever everyone wants to call it. I've used them multiple times, no issues whatsoever. And I would still recommend as a hot wallet, Trust Wallet is still one of the better ones out there as well. And the other one, MetaMask, I don't use it that much, I'll be honest. Yeah, good to see you as well. How you doing, boss? What up, Miles and family? Good to see you as well. Ray, how you doing, brother? How you been? You're so nice, Miles. The first person that asks for nothing in return, this alone will make you famous. Thank you so much, XOP Den, for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. Hate or love America, she still runs a lot of show. Yes, that's true. Miles, I think you are suffering from hay fever. Maybe, I'm not sure. Miles, we are proud for your free knowledge. Thank you, XRP Den. Thank you for the kind words again. So it's not safe to have Tangem on my iPhone. I have Tangem on my iPhone as well. Things you shouldn't do if you own not just an iPhone, but even a Samsung. If you own a smartphone in general, don't connect, especially if you have your wallets on your phones. A lot of people have their, Tangent Wallet app or Ledger Wallet app or Hot Wallet and so on. Hot Trust Wallet and so on and so on. If you have all these apps on your phone, number one thing you should never do is connect to public Wi-Fi. Never connect to public Wi-Fi. It's the easiest Wi-Fi to spread malware. Never click on random links and so on and so on and so on. But if you're also on an iPhone, turn off iMessage. You should be okay with a Tangent because I have Tangent as well on my phone, so it's okay. As long as you don't connect your Tangent to any D apps, you should be okay because then it's fully offline. Miles, per chance the SEC/XRP ruling goes to Supreme Court, what do you predict will happen? Okay, let's just say, the possibility of it going to a Supreme Court. If Gary Gensler doesn't like to play ball and he really wants that 2 billion, which he's never going to get, the SEC goes to Supreme Court, which is still a possibility out there. What's the chances and what's the ruling? The chances very low, but the ruling is still going to be towards Ripple Labs. Look, either way, in general, Ripple is going to case close this scenario. The SEC has no bullets left in its chamber. They're battling out for scraps at this point. Everybody's forgot about the scoreboard so far. The scoreboard so far is 2-0 for Ripple in the win. Because one, Ripple won essentially the first resolution on secondary markets. The second win for Ripple was when the SEC dropped the case against Chris and Brad. And the third win is going to be the case closed one. The SEC still so far had 0 wins against Ripple Labs. Ultimately 0 wins. So there's still, 2-0 so far. And it's going to be 3-0 when it goes to the Supreme Court. But Gary's a moron. If Gary decides to take this case to the next level of a Supreme Court situation, he's an absolute moron. Because the judge is going to give the final verdict. And if Gary doesn't like what the judge says, he could do that. But then he's an absolute moron. What makes a difference? What will he assume will come from a Supreme Court that couldn't come from a judge? What's the best phone for crypto, Miles? What's the best phone for crypto? Samsung or iPhone is good to go. Any other phone is good to go. Just always keep your apps safe. Don't connect your wallets to random links or random websites. Miles, the reason I want to see your long-term bags, then I won't need to see the market every day. I will check my bags in 2025, 2026. Oh no, not again. Yeah, no, we're back. Don't worry. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll share my updated wallet on Telegram, my portfolio. No problem. What is the probability of this happening to Tether? What is the probability of that happening to Tether? Quite low. They would rather replace Tether than tarnish Tether. The only reason they won't sanction Tether in any sort of a way, they could if they wanted to, but the only reason they won't sanction Tether is because of BlackRock. Because BlackRock can't, have its assets drop in value. Fidelity won't like that idea either. Neither will JP Morgan or anybody else. Nobody will like the idea of that happening. So they won't do it, but they can if they wanted to, is what I am trying to say. Yes, we can see. Let's go. They are getting us ready for a blackout, is what you want saying. I mean, yeah, that's also possibilities on the board still. Thank you for your help, Miles. No problem, Pierce. Anytime. Can you suggest the best phone to have exclusive for crypto, or does it matter? It doesn't really matter, I'll be honest. But so far, Android is, and I have both. I have Samsung and an iPhone. I'm right now on an iPhone doing this live show, but I have both, and they can both become compromised in either way. So, but iPhone does have that vulnerability right now regarding iMessage situation. But either way to go. Miles, you were right about the predict. I believe, Miles, you were right about that project. I believe is called Syncus. They must have rug pulled. A lot of people on Twitter and TT were very angry today, including influencers. Yes, yes, yes. I saw regarding Syncus. I when Syncus first came out, there's a crypto. If nobody's heard about Syncus, it's a funny story. So there's a crypto project called Syncus, and it was the first day they came out. There was three crypto influencers promoting it. Now, when you see crypto influencers, especially three or two crypto influencers promoting just one particular crypto project, that should be red flag number one of scam. When you see crypto influencers promoting projects back to back, that's number one red flag. But day number one, when people came to my live show and they were talking about Syncus, I said to everybody it's a scam. Since day one, I said it's a scam. And I said step by step what will happen. Anybody remember? So I used to do these live shows on TikTok for over a year, and I give a step by step plan of what the processes will be of you getting scammed. I give everybody, because a lot of people came onto the live show and put messages of Syncus is the next project, Syncus is going to the moon, and this and that. And I said, let me just be very honest with you. You must be new inside the crypto space, but or inside of any sort of market space. But I give them a step-by-step plan for improvements. I said step one, the influencers will obviously be promoting it for you and you will be going for it. I said step two, the project will go a little bit down. And then the influencers will come out and say, don't worry, it's gonna go back up. They're doing all these great things. I talked about the project and so on. I talked to the developers of the project. Just buy the token, don't worry about it, it's just a correction. I said step three, the project will go a little bit up. And then the influencers will say, I told you, see, the project's going to go back up. Don't worry about it. I said, step four, the project will go. I said, step five, you will go to their comment section and say, hey, bro, what happened to that Syncus project you were talking about? I said, step six, they'll most likely block your comments and start talking about something else. I give people a step by step plan of what will happen of you getting scammed by an influencer. Day one, I said this about Syncus. And now where is Syncus? And another one is Virtual X. Virtuous X or Virtual X. That's going down. The best part of this whole story is, okay, definitely the best part, the highlight, is another question I was asked. Another question that I was asked was, how do these crypto influencers who scam people, sleep at night? This was a very good question I was asked. How do these influencers, these crypto influencers who scam people on a daily basis sleep at night? I said, do you want me to give you the honest answer? Everybody said yes inside the comment section of the live show. I said, I'll be full honest. Like a baby. These crypto influencers that are scamming people inside the retail section, they sleep like a baby. Because I said the people that they are scamming are too dumb to realize it and they will get scammed back to back. And I said, that's a full honest answer. Just to prove my point again, just out of curiosity, I went to these, I'm not going to name who these influencers are, but I went to their page on TikTok after somebody from my group sent it in the Telegram group regarding this project going sideways. I went to one of these influencers inside and I clicked on his video, and on his comment section, instead of people being angry and saying you scammed us, you shilled this project to us, how could you do this, and so on and so on, rational explanations. Instead, I saw a lot of people putting comments like, don't worry about it, bro, scams happen, don't worry about it, I can't believe they made you look like the villain for us. What's the new project? What's the new project that we should be going for? Do you realize how dumb people are? So, regarding that question of how do these crypto influencers sleep at night when they scam people, they sleep like a baby, because that moron that got scammed by that influencer will get scammed multiple times before he realizes that this person isn't doing anything positive. So these crypto influencers sleep like a baby when they scam people. Honestly, I couldn't believe there was no. When I read the comment section, I thought, this cannot be true. People cannot be dumb. Nobody's this thick, especially as an adult. You just got scammed, and your comment, instead of being "How could you do this? I'm gonna unfollow you," was, "I can't believe they made you look like the villain in this scenario." The villain. You just got scammed. But honestly, it makes no sense to me how people could be this thick, especially as an adult. But yeah, they sleep like a baby. Honestly, what imbeciles? What morons? So yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I'm not gonna name who those influencers are, but I think you should know very well who they are. But yeah, the comment section was the best part about it. Those moron victims, which is essentially what they are. Those moron victims who were inside of his comment section saying, "Don't worry, bro," and obviously you have the influencer coming out. The best. This is the best. Not the best part about this. This story is quite funny. There was another best part about it when the influencer came out and made a video and said, "I can't believe they scammed me. If I ever catch them, I will do this to them, and I will." And I'm not gonna name who this influencer was, but it was comedy because he came out and he said, on his own video on TikTok, he's like, I can't believe they I can't believe they scammed this project. I can't believe they scammed my followers. How could they do this? If I ever catch them on another project, I will come out and say who they are, and so on and so on. So I've lost so much money on this project. Who believes this? Well, I know who. His comment section. They're saying to him, "Don't worry, bro. I can't believe they made you look like the villain. You just lost money because of this moron." The best part is, another best part, this moron also used to think that Onyx coin on CoinMarketCap is JP Morgan's coin. And he used to go around and say, "Yeah, JP Morgan's coins on the CoinMarketCap, if anybody wants to go for it." The only similarities that they had was Onyx coin and Onyx coin, the name. And he thought it was JP Morgan's coin for the retail section, even though it's never been available. Like, what? Oh, man. It makes no sense. How can he be this thick as an adult? Forget the influencer. I mean, obviously, he's being paid. Okay? The people that follow him. Like, what needs to happen for you to wake up? Do you want to lose your car, your house, your marriage before you realize you're getting scammed for the 10th time by these influencers? The comment section was comedy. It's absolutely comedy of those videos. And then you have the other moron who was also scamming people, writing essays. I can't believe he, I can't believe this project scammed people. I'm very thorough on my research. This project was the best. Of course it was the best because they were paying you the best, not because it was the best. And then the best part was, he never revealed his name to me or to anybody else because his name was Mohammed, and he didn't want to put down his name on the crypto on the crypto website's project because his name was Mohammed, and he thought people will be rude to his name. What? What? People would be rude. If he's the CEO of the crypto project, he doesn't want to put his name down because of racism. How does that even make sense? If I'm a CEO of a crypto project, which I am, I put my full name on the project. It's registered on the company's house inside the United Kingdom. My name is registered on company's house, full name. But the other project's CEO didn't want to put his name down because his name starts with Mohammed, so he thought people might make fun of him. What? That's not even an excuse. It's just too funny. Honestly, the crypto space sometimes amazes you. The crypto space amazes you from the influencers with their BS stories of they never saw it coming because they were being paid. But then the best funny part is also the comment section, with the comment section saying, "Oh, don't worry about it, bro. Scams happen." And do you know what the best part is? One of them, I'm not going to name who they are again. One of these moronic crypto influencers put down, apparently in his own mind, apparently not in real life. He made a video where he said, I put $40,000 down. I put $40,000 down on this project, is what the video he made about a month back, or about a few weeks back. He said, I put $40,000 on this project because I believe in it. Now, on his video of I can't believe they did this to me, which is the one that came out today, the screenshot he had behind him was $2,000. So about a week before that, he made a video of I'm putting 40,000 of my own money into this project. It's on my wallet. And then today's video was his portfolio on this project. It was holding $2,000. Apparently, he lost $2,000, even if that picture isn't edited. So where's your $40,000? I thought you had money. What happened to all that money? No, seriously, the crypto space is too funny. From the influencer side and from the people that follow them. Oh, the people that follow them are goldfish brain cells. Honestly, the people that follow those two morons, those two influencers, they genuinely must have brain cells of a goldfish, because it makes no sense. They got scammed. The followers got scammed, and the followers are the ones apologizing to the scammer, which is the influencer. Just think about that logic for a second. His followers got scammed, and his followers are apologizing to the influencer, saying, "Don't worry about it. It happens. I can't believe they made you look like the villain." How do you even come about? Where is the logic? How do you twist this in some sort of a way? Honestly, people should be taking con lessons from these influencers. You just got scammed by this person, and you're going to this person and apologizing to him. How does that even make sense? No, it's just, if you tell the story to someone, they'll probably think you're lying. This doesn't make any sense. There's no logic behind it. But I'm not. You can go to the TikTok video, look at the comment section on that video of him saying, I can't believe they did this to me and to my followers. He was being paid. What an absolute joke. I don't know how he twisted it where his followers are apologizing to him. That one's new to me. But yeah, how do these crypto influencers sleep at night when they scam people? The crypto influencers that scam people inside the crypto section, they sleep like a baby, because the people they are scamming are too thick to realize it, and in some occasions they apologize to the scammer. Even when I say it, it sounds no, it's just too funny, honestly. Oh. Miles, I hope you're not getting sick. No, I'm good. Shut Don't worry about it. I use my phone for crypto work, free time, calling, basic everything. Yep, let's give it up. How you mean don't connect your Tangent to Vaps? Below, elaborate. I miss BlackBerry, the best for security. Yeah, BlackBerry was good. BlackBerry days. Would you recommend Miles to keep all assets on Tangent wallet offline? I would say multiple wallets is good, but Tangent was very good in security, especially offline. Miles, I have one Ledger, one Tangent. Should I buy another Tangent to get cold wallets on my phone, or buy Ledger to get two Ledgers and one Tangent? One Ledger, one Tangent. I think another Tangent would be better rather than a Ledger. Pierce, how can you mean Tangent offline? Tangent is from self offline, right? Yeah, Tangent is offline, yes, but you can connect it to the D-apps, which takes it from offline, is what he means. My cousin, is abroad, and he was asking about you and the latest projects. I told him to stay away. Mao's such a savage with those crypto influencers. They'll love it. Let's go, Ray. From the meme coins. Yeah, stay away from meme coins. Zoo coins and Pepe's granddad. Yeah, definitely stay away from them. Could it be that's why they are getting XRP to do a stable coin to get rid of Tether? Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. You will be famous in your family because you're honest as usual, person of the best, honest, loving. Thank you so much, XRP Den, for the kind words. Mao's only gets very emotional regarding Pepe's cousins. Code word: Russia cuts your feed. Russia cuts your feed. The federals got you on the surveillance for walking up retail. Mouse, I tell you the truth, the only influence I really hate are those XRP haters on TikTok. Let's go, Shelly. Let's go, Bilal. Let's go, Susie. Hilarious. It's nice you're laughing, Miles. It makes me feel good. Thank you so much, XLB, there for that. Miles, I never ever seen you laugh like that before. It suits you. You should laugh more. Let's go, funky brother. Hello, Miles, CMF. Lena, good to see you. How you doing? CMF, let's go. Miles, I'm crying. Let's go, XLB then. Miles, you're enjoying yourself, yeah. Yo, what's up, crypto bro? Crypto Shark, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Me here laughing at you. Thing Miles, let's go. What are your altcoins? What altcoins are you holding? What altcoins am I holding? Quite a bit. My portfolio is on Telegram. I'm holding quite a lot of altcoins. But obviously, regarding the major ones, obviously, HBAR, XLM, XRP, XDC. So we'll put all that to one side. But there's a few that I'm holding that I believe could do well. And all the projects that I do hold are actual companies, like registered company. I don't hold any crypto projects that aren't companies that are registered. These random crypto projects that get produced overnight and they're low gem, so on and so on, they're all scams. I only go for crypto projects that have official headquarters registered within any company, within any jurisdiction they're under, is the only crypto projects I go for. So they have to be fully registered under some sort of jurisdiction, have a headquarters for me to be looking into them to go for them, essentially. Otherwise, they're just some random crypto projects being built in someone's bedroom to scam people. But yeah, one project that is fully regulated, fully registered within Singapore, has a headquarters. LET is the crypto project, which I would say look into definitely. LAT, Platon. It's in the financial space, it's in the data space and some other spaces. It has a contract with a financial establishment inside of Singapore as well. They landed this partnership during the Singaporean blockchain event. But yeah, it has its own headquarters, official companies registered. They have their own apps on the App Store and Google Store, launched years ago, and still, updating it regularly. And it's definitely a project to look out for. LAT. It's a very underrated project. It holds a lot of promise. The ticker is LAT. The crypto project's name is Platon. What altcoins are you holding? So that's one of them that I'm holding. Outstanding. Let's go, Ray. This group is famous. Let's go XRP then. Okay, cool. AIT protocol dumped. AIE protocol dumped. Okay. Don't know about that one. But we're going dumping. It's most likely probably scam. We got that project that done. But yeah, honestly, those crypto influences crack me up sometimes. Now, also to go through is regarding the Tether situation, which we talked about as well. But we'll go through this one as, we'll go through one by one. Instead of skipping some news, we'll go through one by one. So, Fidelity. We'll go through the Fidelity news regarding the analyst from Fidelity. Bitcoin wallets holding at least $1,000 are growing in positive trend, Fidelity. The amount of Bitcoin held on exchanges, meanwhile, fell 30% in the first quarter to 2.3 million BTC. That is a positive sign. Actually, the amount of Bitcoin held in exchanges has dropped quite a lot, but also the amount of Bitcoin being sold by Bitcoin mining institutions is also relatively very low as well, which is also positive as well. These are two positive sentiments a lot of people aren't paying attention to. Bitcoin mining institutions typically sell off a lot of Bitcoin at higher points, but they haven't this time around. They only sold some so they can reinvest it on Bitcoin mining institutions, equipments, or buying land to build more Bitcoin farmings, essentially. And regarding the exchanges, the reason why the crypto exchanges are holding a lot more less, 30% less BTC on exchanges, is because a lot of them are being, purchased essentially by, all these major institutions that are coming into play, and especially ETFs is a sentiment towards that, which means a lot more less Bitcoin is on the exchanges, which is again positive because it means it's not selling, they're holding. And typically institutions don't buy things for quick profits. Only the people from the retail section would buy crypto projects or anything for a quick profit. Institutions don't buy anything for quick profit. They buy it for building on it, holding it to raise its value 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and so on and so on. So yeah, I can see why that 30% is there. Now, in a report released by Fidelity's digital asset highlighted the growing number of Bitcoin addresses containing at least $1,000 worth of BTC, calling it a positive trend growth from the retail section as well. This grew to an all-time new high of 10.6 million wallets in mid-March. Analysts wrote the milestone representing a 100% increase from 5.3 million Bitcoin addresses in 2023. This may represent of a growing distribution of Bitcoin and its adoption among the average person. Now, this analyst is from Fidelity. The analyst wrote, adding that the metric indicates growth of small addresses accumulating and saving Bitcoin even with rising prices. So even though the market is essentially rising in prices, there's a lot of people from the retail section that are still coming in and purchasing Bitcoin and keeping it on the sidelines. We have institutions doing the exact same thing as well, which is also the indications of why the market, even though it might look like it's down, but it's only down 2 to 3%, which is not major in any sort of way inside the crypto space at all. Because the crypto space, we see swings of 40% downwards sometimes and then 50% up the next week. So 2 to 3% is not alarming in any sort of way right now inside the crypto space at all. But again, yeah, I can see what the Fidelity means, Fidelity analyst, regarding it's looking quite positive. The wallets are growing, the institutions are buying, keeping off the exchange. According to recent data, the Bitcoin mining institutions are still keeping a lot of their BTC. Typically, they would have sold off. The short-term outlook for Bitcoin is overall very positive. Fidelity's analyst wrote, presenting a myriad long-term data points on 60 metrics for Bitcoin tracked. A quarter of them were deemed negative or neutral conditions, while half of them were positive. Another indicator tracked. The report looks at how much Bitcoin is held on crypto exchanges. A multi-year downward trend continued in the first quarter of 2024. Fidelity wrote, falling on regarding how much BTC is being held, essentially how much BTC is being held in exchanges. Day by day is dropping. More Bitcoin is being taken off the exchanges day by day and held away in long-term wallets, and it could be the institutions as well in that basis. But falling 4.2 to 2.3 million Bitcoins are just disappeared, or 30% below of peak of over 3 million Bitcoins held since 2022. So since 2022, as the years gone by, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, day by day, less Bitcoin is being held on exchanges and being completely taken off them. The report carried another caveat, however, noting that this does not necessarily equal to an increase in self-custody either, regarding the retail section. The authors noted that the custodians like Fidelity are working on solutions that allow customers to control their keys while trading through exchanges. One negative indicator of a note, historic levels of paper profits for Bitcoin holders. Over 99% of Bitcoin addresses were in the green by the end of the first quarter, analysts wrote, explaining that as a number of addressing the profit grows, a sell-off continues, becomes more likely as the traders and new investors look to realize profits. The same, essentially, the retail section do typically tend to sell off quite more earlier for quick profits, but the institutions are in it for the long run, and about 99% of the Bitcoin addresses were in the green at the end of the first quarter, which they're still in the green if you technically look at it, according to the data, let's say. So yeah, according to Fidelity's analyst, long-term wise, short-term wise, Bitcoin is looking good. A lot less Bitcoin on the exchanges, more Bitcoin is being held away by by the retail section and also mostly by the institutions. So long-term, short-term, it's looking good for Bitcoin. Now, S&P. The S&P's stablecoin bill could improve US participation and challenge Tether dominance. Now, this is coming from the S&P. According to the S&P report, a stablecoin bill may give banks an advantage over other institutions and incentives, essentially competition in the digital asset custody business. If approved, the Luminous Gilbert Payments Stablecoin Act which was proposed on April 17th. Now, this is their point of view from the S&P that came out today regarding the report. But the act came out on the 17th, hasn't been fully approved yet. Positioned to introduce regulatory clarity for the $157 billion strong stablecoin market currently dominated by Tether USDT. Stablecoins are fiat-pegged cryptocurrencies that offer stability in otherwise volatile markets. Such an asset are typically tied to sovereign currencies like the US dollar, such as Circle USD coin and USDC, serving as a gateway to on and off ramp liquidity. The bill would permit US banks to issue fiat pegged tokens with no thresholds but require service providers without a banking license to maintain a market cap under $10 billion. So they're saying once this bill gets passed, banks could also come into the play and produce their own stablecoins, let's say. According to Andrew O'Neill, managing director and co-chair of S&P Global's Digital Asset Research Labs, the regulatory framework will give banks an edge over other market participations and incentives blockchain adoption in the financial sector through asset tokenization and digital bond issuance. O'Neill said on-chain payment rails offer a real-time and efficient settlement, citing BlackRock Ethereum-based fund as an example. Investment group BlackRock's Build fund provides a recent use case. The tokenized fund, which uses Ethereum blockchain and invests in US treasuries, has a liquidity pool dominated by USDC stablecoin, which is also very true, for which investors can redeem share tokens via smart contracts into essentially 24/7. Now, also regarding BlackRock and USDC stablecoin, this again, I said, this might look like new news, and it came out about a week ago, and it might look like a new news to everybody. BlackRock, USDC, Circle working together, and so on. This is so innovative and so on. And when the news came out, it sounded so innovative. BlackRock coming into the stablecoin scene with USDC. And I said, just to put in perspective for everybody, BlackRock was inside of the stablecoin space since 2021. In 2021, BlackRock used to go around and say crypto is a Ponzi scheme and everything to do with cryptocurrency is an absolute Ponzi scheme, it's a scam, and so on. It's a bubble that's going to burst. In 2021, BlackRock had a fund that actually, USDC was a part of that fund. And USDC had two BlackRock advisors on board with this fund that USDC started back in 2021. So BlackRock was fully into USDC since 2021. The same year they were calling crypto a Ponzi scheme and a bubble that's going to burst. BlackRock was involved with Circle, with USDC since 2021. At those times they were talking about how crypto is a bubble, it's going to burst and a scam and so on and so on. And they were fully involved. But the news recently came out, USDC and BlackRock 24/7 market space, innovative milestone. They've been together behind the sidelines and it's public documentation since 2021. But it just shows you how they manipulate the market. Finally, the S&P report predicted an influx of new providers in digital asset custody industries, especially with an update to SEC rules, which no longer requires custodians to report crypto assets on their balance sheets, which is also true as well. Crypto.news reached out to O'Neill and the S&P for further comments on the bill and its impacts. This is what they got back. That policy not only differs from the general treatment of financial assets held in custody, which are generally off balance sheets, but creates a capital requirement that likely discourages financial institutions from providing digital asset custody in the US. The new rules would remove that barrier and could lead to a greater competition. Which it would, yes, which means banks can get involved heavily inside the stablecoin space, which would expand the stablecoin space, and it explains why they're saying the stablecoin space is going to become massive and much more bigger as the time goes by, especially when this bill comes into play from the United States. Now, also to go through regarding the Bloomberg news as well, but before we go through that, let me see if there's anything in the comment section. No, we're good. Okay, so regarding the Bloomberg news, so Bloomberg analyst warns as Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs are about to launch in Hong Kong, the war has begun. Now, what war is exactly talking about, and why is he warning people? Well, he's warning people in a good sense, not in a bad sense. And regarding the war has begun is the battle of the ETFs, is what they mean. Now, Bloomberg's analyst, Eric, is an analyst that's very accurate on things he says, and he provides data on everything he also says. So Eric has been quite right in the past regarding market movements, and he's a Bloomberg analyst, a Bloomberg ETF analyst as well. Now, Hong Kong markets regulators, the Securities and Futures Commission, SFC, has officially approved the first batch of cryptocurrencies related to spot ETFs. This is the first for the city and could lead to further growth in the sector, enabling to become Asia's leading digital asset hub. Now, Hong Kong has just made massive news. First ever Ethereum ETF on a well-established market space coming out of Hong Kong. Ethereum ETF and Bitcoin ETF. It took Gary Gensler 10 years for a BTC ETF. Who knows how long it will take for an Ethereum ETF? It took Hong Kong a month to be able to release Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. The SFC on Tuesday approved spot-based Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs by asset managers Harvest Global Investments in China's asset management, China AMC, and a custodian of Bosfor Asset Management and Hashkey Capitals, according to the regulator's website. Bloomberg intelligence analyst Eric says that the funds could begin trading on April 13th. He added that the management fees were lower on average than previously expected. James is also another ETF analyst from Bloomberg as well, who's been quite correct on market spaces. A senior NFT analyst, James, from Bloomberg Intelligence, noted that there is a potential fee war between issuers and regarding issuers of the Hong Kong market space, the UK market space, and the US market space, and everybody else that's inside the ETFs or ETPs or ETNs. Now, Harvest is weighing all fees for this first 6 months. So Harvest BTC ETF and Ethereum ETFs, they're waiving all the fees for the first 6 months, 0 fees if you want to buy an ETF from Harvest, which should produce that growth, 0 fees. After the first period, it will charge 0.3%, which is a little bit higher than BlackRock's. BlackRock is sitting at 0.20% regarding BTC ETF fees for both spot BTC and Ethereum funds. Remaining below, Bosfor Hashkey funds are 0.6% and China AMC are 0.99% management fees. This approval comes 3 months after US regulators give the green light to the first spot-based Bitcoin ETFs in that country. Massive. Honestly, it is still massive, without a doubt. Because day by day, we are seeing the market space expand. Day by day, we're seeing, before we go to the next news, let me just say this as well. So day by day, we are seeing the market space expand in different jurisdictions. So, we have the UK, talking about it coming out with ETNs or ETFs for the first time ever. We have the US fully emerged into the ETF market space, just with Bitcoin for the time being, but most likely more ETFs are definitely on the way as well. We have Saudi Arabia recently joining the ETF space as well. India is expanding into the ETF space day by day. Brazil is expanding day by day as well. Germany is coming into that space. The EU is definitely coming into that space as well. Singapore is coming into that space. Japan's coming into that space. So day by day, we're getting more ETFs, more ETPs, more ETNs on applications and approvals. So the market space is definitely growing, and it might not seem that way when you look at the charts and you go, oh, well, crypto's down today 2 to 3%. Behind the sidelines, there's a lot of things preparing for that boost to come up, essentially come up inside the market space. And that boost is technically money that's coming in from all these institutions around the world who have a lot of money burning a hole in their pocket that they want to spend on this market space. Because everybody saw essentially BlackRock do ridiculous on, essentially Bitcoin, essentially making humongous amounts of profits. MicroStrategy made incredible amounts of profits, and everybody wants a piece of the pie now. All these institutions around the world just want a piece of the pie. This is why, this is essentially the institutional wave. It's no longer, the retail section only for the crypto space, where crypto used to be known for freedom and, decentralized and so on. So that's what crypto was used to be known for. Now crypto is the institutional, and that's where all the money is. Traditional finance is where all the money is, and we want all that money. If you're inside the crypto space, you want the traditional finance to join the digital finance because we want their money. Because if you position yourself in a legitimate project that's based on the contracts that they do have in place. So, for example, if you position yourself inside of a crypto project that has a contract with IBM, that has a contract with Standard Chartered Bank, or a contract with HSBC, or a contract with major establishments or major banks and institutions out there, then you've positioned yourself perfectly for that institutional wave of money to be entering. And when that institutional money enters the crypto space, it's higher probability it's going to enter into your crypto projects that you're holding because you're inside the right section of projects. If you're holding projects on those contracts and that money comes into the crypto space, it's more likely it's going to head towards you from the traditional financial space because it's based on those contracts. For example, if IBM wanted to come into the crypto space foolproof, who do you think they're going to be putting that money towards? Do you think they're going to be headed towards the zoo animal tokens? Do you think IBM is lining up to buy a bonk token? No. IBM is lining up to buy, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, XLM, XDC, so on, so on, so on. They're lining up to buy those projects. They're not lining up to buy, Pepe's granddad. I didn't know I had to say that, but that should be basically logic number one. And all you have to do is put yourself in their positions. Because a lot of people, sometimes say to me, not a lot of people, but some people say to me, well, how do you know they're not going to be buying bonk token? Or how do you know they're not going to be buying Pepe, for example? And the most rational and logical explanation I could give to anybody is put yourself in their position. For example, if you owned, for example, a company that was worth $100 million, if you owned a company, you were the CEO of $100 million company, and the crypto world opened its doors to you, and they opened their doors to BlackRock and Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, and so on before you, and now you're entering the crypto space, and you're the CEO of $100 million company, and you're coming to the crypto space for the first time. What are you going for? Are you going to be going for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, XLM, XDC, Solana, Cardano, and so on, and HBAR? Or are you lining up with your $100 million company to go for Pepe's granddad, Pepe's sister, Pepe's stepsister, camel token, frog token, cat token, dog token? What are you lining up for if you own $100 million crypto, $100 million company? So that's the only logical, rational explanation I could give to anybody that tries to go against me and say, well, no, how do you know that company isn't going to go for, bonk token or Pepe's? Because I said, put yourself in their position. If you own $100 million company and you're the CEO, you're entering the crypto space for the first time, you're going to be lining up to buy a camel token, or you're going to be lining up to buy Bitcoin? So it's the easiest way to put it to people. So just think logical. Okay, everybody talks about the market narrative, Well, the market narrative is all about institutions. If you want to make money from this market narrative, you better be positioning yourself in projects that most likely will be funded by institutions. Easiest way to tell, contracts. Look at their PDF contracts. All these crypto projects, who are they working with? What are they building? What use case does it have? Number one thing in crypto it was designed for was utility. That was the main purpose of crypto, utility. That's coming into play now. So don't get left behind holding Pepe's granddad. Just going through the comment section before we get through the next part of the news. I was sending my funds over the Tangent and the exchange has now suspended me from transfer for 48 hours. That's a bit odd. What exchange is it? And Circle is a partner of Ripple. Yep. Well, they used to be, I think. We push your mouse, let's go. No problem anytime. So, next part of news to go through. Chainlink, which is also on the crypto project, most likely going to be funded by institutions. Now, Chainlink. Chainlink launches their cross-chain Entertai protocol, which is a great idea. It's a great idea of what they've done. Chainlink, the pioneer in the decentralized computing industry, announced publicly the general availability (GA) of its cross-chain Entertai protocol (CCIP). This update encourages wide implementation along developers to securely perform cross-chain transactions and interact with smart contracts without any restrictions. Sorry about that, but I just realized something regarding Chainlink. So previously, earlier on this live show, we were talking about how a few crypto projects, rug pulled, and I was making fun of the influencers that were supporting these rug pull projects. I just remembered the same moron in crypto influencers that were promoting those rug pull projects. They started promoting a project called ChainSwap, and they were trying to say ChainSwap is better than Chainlink, even though Chainlink has established partnerships and is fully established itself. They were promoting a project called ChainSwap, which is a replica of Chainlink. And they're saying to people, you should go for ChainSwap. It's the new revolutionary project. Forget about Chainlink. It's all about ChainSwap. Yeah, ChainSwap is going to go down the toilet as well. Just a heads up to anybody that's holding ChainSwap. That's also going to be headed towards the toilet. or if it already has been towards the toilet. You know, I don't know. But yes, that just made me laugh. Just remembered for a second. Yeah, don't go for Chainswap. Chain Link is what you want to go for if you want to go for a crypto project. Now, CCIP now acts as the main driver behind multi-chain solution, which covers Ethereum, BNB Chain, Arbitrary, and Polygon, and is expected to have a larger coverage in the future. CCIP allows the exchange of tokens among different blockchains and smart contracts as it captures assets and programs using like programmable token transfers. The decentralized finance network has been updated with a new secure bridging application named Transporter, along with the popular assets such as USDC and native ETH. The leading platforms Ava and WeMade included CCIP as well in their infrastructures by taking advantage of its high security and by taking advantage of high security for their cross-line operations. CCIP gets into the ecosystems in Web3. Chainlink is working on proving the protocol and the ecosystem features on the network. Massive news on what they released themselves. Honestly, massive news regarding Chainlink doing this as essentially this cross-chain that they just updated themselves. Everything's going to become much more smooth on Chainlink, which is great. Absolutely brilliant. I love the way this family helps each other out. Let's go, Troy. Now, next news. Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett was a man that hated the crypto space massively. He said the crypto space is a Ponzi scheme. It's a bubble that's going to burst at one point, and so on and so on. Just like any other person who criticized the crypto space and now is head first into the crypto space. JP Morgan hated the crypto space. He's inside the crypto space. He still hates on it, but he's inside the crypto space. BlackRock hated the crypto space. They've been with the crypto space and behind the scenes. There's a lot of data to prove that, public information, and now they're heavy into the crypto space. So you get the gist. So Warren Buffett, for the longest time, was always a man who was against the crypto space. But there was one particular project he invested into, which was essentially a bank. Now, it's a bank based out of Brazil, and it was a project that he invested into a long time ago. Warren Buffett backed Nubank enables crypto withdrawals for BTC, ETH, and Solana. Nubank Brazil, premier digital bank backed by Warren Buffett, has allowed customers to withdraw Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana directly from their Nubank wallets. With this update, users can send and receive these crypto assets seamlessly via the bank's app. According to the information shared by Bitcoin Magazine, Nubank also disclosed plans to support additional cryptos in the future, though it has not specified which ones. So more is on the way, definitely as well, regarding Nubank on expansions. Now, Nubank's latest movement is a significant step in the integration of crypto into conventional banking services in Brazil, and it reflects the increasing global acceptance of crypto of digital assets. The expectation is that this development will encourage other financial institutions to incorporate cryptocurrency transactions capabilities into their services. The announcement of this support of the crypto withdrawals comes several months after Nubank revealed its plans to offer these options in December last year. The latest development is considered Nubank's ongoing efforts to establish itself as a leading financial institution in Latin America. Nubank announced trading support for Bitcoin and Ethereum partnerships with blockchain infrastructure firm Paxos in May 2022. At the time, Nubank owner New Holdings also reported allocating around 1% of its cash to Bitcoin. This bank is about to be going into Bitcoin as well. In 2021, Buffett's company Berkshire Hathaway purchased 107 million shares of New Holdings for total investment of 750 million. So for a guy, Warren Buffett, who was against cryptocurrencies for the longest time, and essentially called cryptocurrencies a Ponzi scheme, a bubble that's going to burst, it's going to go to zero, Bitcoin's going to zero, and so on. So you know the speech that everybody gives inside, these CEOs and executives about the crypto space. So for a guy who was heavily against it, he bought 107 million shares of New Holdings in 2021. In 2021, he was against cryptocurrencies. In 2023, he was also against cryptocurrencies, and so on. But he bought 107 million shares of New Holdings. His total investment was $750 million. He was against crypto, but he invested $750 million. That should put into perspective. Now, this is the better part of this story as well. So, this is the part where it gets extremely better. This turned out to be Berkshire Hathaway's best performing stock of that year, with a 93% gain. So he's against crypto, thinks it's going to zero, the bubble's going to burst, and that's what he says on the media. Behind the scenes, he's invested 107 million shares, which equivalent of $750 million, and it was the best performing asset on his portfolio. It's the story of, institutions typically say something and something else is obviously going on. I'm inside the corporate sector as well. I've said this multiple times, and I've said about 99% of things that they say inside the corporate sector on public news is all full of BS. About 1% is actual truth. Just 1%. I'm from the corporate sector, so I'm telling you from my own perspective of being inside the corporate sector. 99% of things they say on the news is absolute BS. In reality, 1% is truth. But unfortunately, nobody sees the 1% because everybody's too focused on 99%. Now, let's go through this as well. Brilliant. Okay, so let's go through the comment section before we go to the next news. I have a bit of news to go through as well, still. A lot of things happening around the world. Brother Miles, I know you're against meme coins, but Shiba Inu, Doge, WIF, and others all on exchanges and with big market caps. Do you think they will all fade away down the toilet after regulations? Which is a good question. Okay, so Funky Brother, and it's probably a question that a lot of people want an answer to. So, Funky Brother inside the comment section said, Brother Miles, I know you're against meme coins, but Shiba Inu, Doge, WIF, WIF is the dog with hat one, and others are all on exchanges and with big market caps. Do you think they will all fade away down the toilet after regulations? High chance, yes. Okay, now, not for all of them. So, I'll tell you like this. Dogecoin will survive. Regarding meme coins, I'll tell you which one will survive and which ones won't. Dogecoin will survive. Shiba will survive. Lunar C will even survive. Now, WIF will fade away. WIF and Pepe, it's there in here. But yeah, the three that will most likely survive anything, because they survived anything, was Doge, Shiba, and Doge is because of Elon Musk. He supports Doge, and I understand why he supports Doge. So Elon Musk sees Dogecoin as the people's coin, which I get. So, I see his interest inside of it. And Shiba Inu was an absolute miracle, the way it just came out of nowhere. And Luna C became a phenomenon because of Luna crashing and Luna C's both coming out of nowhere. So those people survive. Pretty much they've survived everything. The rest of them, they're going to come and go. And also regarding exchanges, the more regulations that come, the more they will be removed from exchanges. Now also, just to put in perspective, a lot of people have pointed out to me, sometimes when I say these things, and again, I'm not wishing bad on anybody. If you're holding dog with hats, if you're holding any meme coins, I wish you the best. I hope it works out for you. I hope you make a lot of money. No hate towards anybody. If you're holding, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Luna C, Pepe, or what's the other ones, dog with hats and so on. If you're all bonk, if you're holding any of these meme coins, I wish, that you become incredibly wealthy and you do incredibly well for yourself in life. And again, in my point of view, Dogecoin will survive, Shiba will survive, and Luna C will survive. The rest, not so much in my point of view. But even the rest, if you're holding them, I wish you the best. I hope it does excellent for you. Make a lot of money for yourself. I want everybody to make money. So, but in reality, sorry to say in reality, but I hope you do make a lot of money. But in reality is, a lot of people say, well, those crypto projects are major exchanges and they have big market caps. So how can they go away? Bonk can't go away, or that can't go. And these exchanges are, listing them. And I said to people, look, if there's a demand, then the exchange will list it because the exchange is making money on fees. If you want to buy, anything. If you want to buy, there's always going to be a seller if there's demand. So if there's demand for a particular project, then the exchanges will list it because they can milk it. Just because a crypto project lands on an exchange, it doesn't have credibility. The credibility of the project, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies, the credibility of a project is the project itself. On what's its utility basis? Because crypto is all about utility. A lot of people like to say, no, it's not. It's about buy and sell and quick profits. Yeah, it used to be. But now when you have BlackRock, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and the list just goes on. And just that's the US markets. Forget about, also the Hong Kong markets or the London Stock Exchange. There are countries preparing themselves to become crypto hubs. And you believe there's no utility to crypto. It's all about buy, sell, quick profits. That's what the retail section thinks. And there are countries preparing themselves to become crypto hubs. And you believe there's no utility. That's what the funny part is as well. But also a lot of people, regarding the market cap situation of these meme coins and how they're listed, and it's not the credibility. Just because a crypto project lists on Binance doesn't give it credibility. The project could be still useless. It's just they list it because there's high demand for it. So which means if Binance lists a particular crypto project like Bonk, for example, or whatever, they can make money on fees. It's a business. They're not giving the project credibility. They're giving you an option so they can make money, is what they're doing. So remember, a credibility of a project doesn't come from the exchanges listed on. It comes from the project itself on what it's building, who it's working with, what contracts it has, where it's established, where is its headquarters, and so on and so on and so on. That's what gives any crypto project its credibility. It's not if it's listed on Binance or if it's listed on whatever exchange and people are buying and there's so much market cap to it. That's zero credibility. I've seen projects go from here to here. One project, Luna had credibility, let's say, because it was listed everywhere. And they, trying to do amazing things, apparently. Where's Luna now? Nowhere to be seen. It's about the project itself. It's not about where it's listed. So stop looking at, oh, well, Binance is listing it. That means it's a good project. No. Binance is listing it because they can make money on fees. And there's an example that I gave. Well, I didn't give. Someone else that gave to me as well. That, if people wanted to buy, excrement. We're back. Okay, for a second, the connection. I don't know why it keeps on doing this. You're gone again. Am I back? Am I back? Hello? 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 How you doing, Frank Bell? Am I back? Thumbs up if you can hear me and see me. You're back. Okay, mouse down or up sideways. Cass, good to see you as well. How you doing? Downside, down. As I said to you, down a little bit sideways and back up. You're back. Let's go. You're back. You're back. All good. Let's go, Funky Brother. Okay, thank you for that, Shelly, as well. So, and Flea XLP, thank you for that as well. Yeah, Miles, you're 100. We are in it for the money. We are having big bags of utility coins for long term. That's what you should be going towards. So don't ever think to yourself, just because a crypto project is listed on major establishments, then therefore that's its credibility, which it isn't. It's the project itself that brings credibility to the table with the contracts and the developments and the partnerships. The PDF documentations and its headquarters is what its credibility is essentially. At the end of the day, it's not if it's listed on major exchanges. The exchanges will list anything as long as they know they have buyers for it. If people want to buy, the exchange will sell. They're making money from fees. They're not adding credibility to the project. It's a business. Always remember that. So next time someone says to you, "Oh well, Bonk is listed on or Pepe is listed on Binance, therefore it's good because Binance listed it." No, Binance are making money from fees, and good for Binance for making money on fees. It's a business. They don't care about Pepe. They'll delist it in a week's time if they wanted to. When the demand essentially runs out, or if the countries that they're working with tells them to remove meme coins, then they'll definitely remove it now because CZ is not in the picture anymore. How do I know this? Because when CZ rejected to remove privacy coins from Binance, the old Binance, the new Binance is now removing privacy coins. Something that CZ rejected in the past. But the new Binance, with the new CEO, who's a member of the World Economic Forum, said, yeah, no problem. We'll delist all the privacy coins because we want to work with the governments. So, if they wanted, they could delist it, especially when the demand dries up. They don't really care about Pepe. They're just here to make money on the fees. How's your blurry? Am I blurry? On my end, it looks alright. Go out, come back in, see if I've changed. Okay, so, also, to go through this as well. CBDCs, which is a topic that, not people are looking forward to, but it's a topic that's going to be happening, not on YouTube. Okay, so we're good on Shelly's side. Now, regarding CBDCs, thank you for that, Shelly. CBDCs, Eurosystem, has little user data visibility. Now, Europe is coming out and keep on spreading these misinformation articles about how they're not going to be looking into people's CBDC wallets, and there's full privacy on CBDCs. Recently, Europe, the EU, got a few MIT students to write an article about CBDCs and how CBDCs are revolutionary, and nobody's going to control your CBDC. But in the same article, they talked about programmable CBDCs, which was the funny part. So yeah, they got a few MIT students to talk how CBDCs are good, innovative, and nobody's going to control your CBDCs, which again is absolute BS because that's not what they send the world to kind of form. So they're producing more articles, and this is one of the most recent ones that came out today. CBDCs, Eurosystem has little user data visibility. Nigel, the president of the Deutsche Bank, has underlined the data visibility of using central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, for transactions. During his speech at the DZ Bank Capital Markets Conference 2024, Nigel restated that the Eurosystem cannot track individuals. They're saying, so, we can't track you with CBDCs. Who's been telling people this? Central bank digital currency, CBDC transactions, we can't, track people. He added that user information would be limited and not only and that only vital data needed for Eurosystem functions, such as settlements, would be assessed. Ensuring data privacy protections. To alleviate the privacy concerns, Nigel stated that the financial institutions and payment service providers handling digital euros transactions cannot use transactions and personal data for commercial gain. So they say, no, we're not going to be using your data at all, not even for personal gain in any sort of a way. He emphasized that this would not change unless users provided consent. So obviously, if you say, yes, you can use my data, then obviously they'll start tracking you 24/7. So they're saying, it's optional. We'll give you the option. If you want to be tracked 24/7, let us know. We'll track you 24/7. I don't know what moron is going to line up and actually go, yeah, I want to be tracked 24/7 on everything I do. But, you'd be surprised. This world is full of morons. Nigel added that the banks would only access such information to comply with anti-money laundering laws and other illicit activities regarding financing. He also stated low-value transactions would be the main target market for offline payments. Now, it's interesting that Nigel said this because Nigel, basically at the beginning in his statements, he said, nobody's tracking you at all, don't worry about it, it's all lies. Then he said, if you want to, we'll track you. And then he said, if we believe you're doing any sort of money laundering or any sort of illicit activities, then we'll track you. No questions asked. Now, let's just say they presume it's wrong and they still track you either way because they presume you were doing AML when you weren't. These steps aim to protect user privacy while guaranteeing adherence to legal requirements. Nigel's comments highlighted how crucial it is to balance personal privacy rights and security risks in the rapidly evolving digital financial space. Concerns over the digital euro. Speaking of the euro system, Nigel responded to banks' concerns about the potential impact of the digital euro on their operations. He acknowledged their concern that the digital euro would draw attention away from traditional bank deposits. However, the central bank reassured stakeholders that the euro system understands their concerns and is prepared to take appropriate action. These precautions include imposing low limits on the maximum amount of CBDCs that individuals can hold for banks to manage and increase demand for liquidity efficiency. Despite skepticism about the need for a digital euro, Nigel expressed confidence in the economy's continuation of digitalization. He added that it offers multiple benefits for consumers and businesses, especially a streamlined payment system. Okay, it provides all the benefit for control. Definitely does regarding CBDCs. But as I previously said, I love it when politicians, when bank governors, they always give out speeches because within one speech they'll tell you everything they're going to do, and it's always in three parts. Where the first part they'll say, "No, everything is a lie. Don't worry about it," and the second part is, "Well, maybe it's true," and the third part is, "Yeah, it's true." Honestly, if you ever look at a politician or a banker's speech and just read between the lines, they're telling you, they start off with, "No, don't worry about it. Everybody's spreading lies. There's nothing wrong with CBDCs." The second part is, "Well, if you want to be tracked, we can track you, no problem." And the third part is, "If we believe you're doing illicit activities, we'll just track you either way." Like, what? Like, you cannot be serious on writing, sort of giving out these speeches. How can you, in the same speech, say three different types of things? And you start off with, "Don't worry about it." Then it goes on to, "We'll track you if you want to." And it goes on to, "If we believe you're doing illicit activities, we'll track you either way." It's like, the way they, I don't know who it is that writes these people's speeches, or if they write it themselves. But honestly, you must have a brain cell of a goldfish. Absolute goldfish. So in the comment section, before we go to the next news as well. All the world CBDCs will run on XRP Ledger 2030. There will be no more physical cash. So Ryan said. We're on the same page. They are a bunch of hypocrites regarding bank governors and politicians. Yes, head to toe hypocrites. Honestly, I've said this previously, and I've always said it multiple times. Politicians, in general, are 9 to 5 professional beggars, because that is what a politician is. A politician's job is to ask for donations from the retail section and from institutions. And then the next job a politician should do is implement laws. Now, there's two ways they go about it. On the news, they'll tell you, "We care about the people." And behind the scenes, they care about who's the biggest donor. They're just 9 to 5 professional beggars. Every time I look at a politician, it reminds me of Oliver Twist. And it's not a joke either. But every time I look at a politician, it just reminds me of Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist, that scene in the movie where he brings up his bowl and he goes, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" That's just essentially what a politician is. They just go around holding a basket and saying, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" Just asking for donations. And whoever the biggest donor is tells them what to do next. So, yeah. So next time you look at a politician, just think about it. The Oliver Twist theory on politicians. Just 9 to 5 professional beggars. That's what they are. Bank of England. Bank of England are scared to cut interest rates too soon. The Bank of England is holding back on reduced interest despite inflation simmering down a bit. How Phil, the chief economist for the bank, recently explained that even through the interest rates decrease from 5.25% seems to be a bit closer, the fall in the headline inflation doesn't fully justify as an easier monetary policy. Apparently, the UK is going through some difficulties right now. To be honest, the whole world's going through some difficulties right now. But Phil highlighted that after years of inflation overshooting targets, the risk of easing monetary policy prematurely could be more hazardous than delaying it, especially if inflation doesn't settle down. He stressed the point this Tuesday, backing this caution take on trimming the bank's rates anytime soon. Current economic dynamics. This call for a prudence comes as the Monetary Policy Committee gears up for its next meeting, slated for just after next week. Phil's hesitation contrasts with the Deputy Governor Dave Ramsden optimism, who believes inflation might stay near the bank's 2% target for the coming 3 years. Meanwhile, the pound has seen a small uptick, increasing from 0.3% to $1, essentially the equivalent of $1.238 against the dollar, indicating market reactions to these decisions that are going on. Economic reports also showed UK business activity in April grew faster than expected, marking the quickest expansion since the previous May. This data was captured by the S&P Global Flash UK Compost Output Index, which climbed to 54 from 52.8 in March, beating their forecast. Chris Wilmson of S&P Global pointed out that the UK is on recovery track, with service growths balancing a slump in manufacturing. The current figures suggest a 0.4% economic growth in the second quarter, following a 0.3% rise on the start of the year. Physical political challenges ahead. This is where things get interesting. As the economy shows signs of life, costs are also rising sharply. The same reports noted a significant jump in average cost burdens, the largest since May of previous year. Economist Rob Wood from the Pantheon Micronomics mentioned that this growth had inflation or outstripping earlier forecasts by the Monetary Policy Committee. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, again the connection just went out for no apparent reason. Everybody see me? Can everybody see me and hear me? Because I got a little notification. Yep, good. So as we were saying, thank you, Shelly, for that. Yeah, we're good. Okay, because for a second it just came out again and said no signal towards sharing to the platform. Because right now we're live on X and YouTube, and I'm using a third party to do this. That's why. Well, never mind. Thank you for that, Shelly. Thank you for that, Ray. So, the International Monetary Fund has issued a warning about the UK's physical health, listing it among nations needing urgent reforms to correct spending revenue imbalances. Predictions suggest the UK debt could swell from 92% of GDP to 98% by 2030, urging a similar vengeance in the US, China, and Italy due to looming elections known as trigger spendings. Back home, Chancellor Jeremy Hunt hinted at a possible tax cut rate last year, conditional on Conservatives win the upcoming general elections. However, Labour leader Sir Keir has plans as unfunded, liking them to the failed budget under former PM Liz Truss, which plunged the economy into a turmoil. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak defunded the fiscal strategy, asserting tax cuts would proceed only when financial feasibility maintains scrap national insurance. Contributes is a long-term goal previously reduced from 12% to 8% by Hunt. In a fairy session in the Commons, Rishi Sunak again, also took a swipe at trust policies, which he added opposed during his 2022 leadership bid, urging or arguing they were flawed. His remarks followed Truss's defense on her tenure in the recent monument, underscoring ongoing debts essentially over fiscal responsibilities, aims ambitious rate cuts, tax cuts. Okay, so the UK in general, not doing too good. And according to some data, they're doing okay. According to the other data, they're not doing too well at all. And the costs are rising day by day. And the same rate cuts might not be on the agenda so far in any sort of a way at all. And to end with it, regarding the International Monetary Fund, the International Monetary Fund recent critics of March budget cuts, suggesting they might worsen debt, despite being partially funded by new revenue measures, adds another layer of complexity as the UK navigates physical challenges aimed demographic shifts and labour market changes. So the ones that are being hit the hardest about what's going on around the world is, according to the International Monetary Fund, the countries that are rising on costs for the living is the UK, according to the International Monetary Fund, is the UK, the US, China, and Italy. These are the countries that are being hit the worst, apparently. The UK, the US, China, and Italy. Ironically, Russia, who is sanctioned, not on the list. They're actually doing quite a lot better than a lot of economies around the world. The reason why China is doing bad is because of the real estate situation. The reason why the US is doing bad because they print money out of thin air. The reason why the UK is doing bad is because for some reason, well, to be honest, the UK, we really don't know what's going on. Nobody's voted for anything inside the UK. We just get, politicians coming out of nowhere and saying, "I'm the new leader now." So nobody knows what's going on there. But yeah, the US is just printing money out of thin air. The UK, we really don't know what's going on because nobody's voting for anything. Just more politicians come out of nowhere, leadership changes out of nowhere. And regarding China, it's because the real estate situation, they're going through difficulties. But Russia, who's been sanctioned, excellent they're doing excellent for themselves, surprisingly. Well, not surprisingly, we all saw that coming because the data does show for quite a while that Russia's doing quite well for themselves. But yeah, they're being sanctioned and their economy is doing better. It's an interesting world we live in. Bank of England has been a ripple opponent since 2020, and the Bank of International since the World Economic Forum. There are only one to be cut in interest rates for 2024. Ryan, yeah, what you said regarding Ripple and Bank of International Settlements and Bank of England, yep, that's all true. Yep, let's go show you what bank. Let's go. There's a lag in the comments, Miles, by about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, you're back. All good. Let's go. Let's go with prices. Nothing new, just letting you know. So that's why it takes a while for you to see our comments come through. Shelly, thank you for that, for letting me know. Because I thought for a second maybe I'm not back because I don't see any comments, but there's a 15 to 20 second lag. Okay, Miles, half of my comments are not even shown on the section. I don't know why that is. I'll be honest. Half your comments don't even get shown on the section. You're going, okay, that's a bit odd. But yeah, I mean, we have crap. Sorry about that. Just spilled something on my iPad. That's okay. Yeah, we also had a little bit of news to go through on towards the JP Morgan as well. But we'll leave JP Morgan and the rest of the news for tomorrow. So I just want to say honestly, if you enjoyed this live show and you're watching this for the first time ever, and you enjoy this live show for the first, and you watch it for the first time ever, if you're watching this on X, if you're watching this on YouTube, because we're live on both of them at the same time, you can tune into this live show every single night. And the reason why I say every single night is because I'm in London, the United Kingdom, and it's 1:33 a.m. right now in the UK, and that's why I call it night. So it's like a late live show for me, but for somebody else watching around the world, maybe it's not a late live show, but that's what it is to me. And essentially, it's a late live show that you can tune in every single night, especially if you're someone that can't sleep at night as well. You can tune into this live show, and I talk about what's happening around the world, and I break it down in a very simplified form. So I read you long, extensive documentation in a very short gist, and then I simplify it for you as well, so you can have a better understanding. Because I'm from the corporate section, so I read documents like this 24/7. It's very easy for me to just simplify it for anybody else to understand perfectly easily. And so if you're enjoying these live shows and you want to tune in every single night, go for it. We talk about cryptocurrencies, blockchain, how the world is doing in general, and CBDCs as well, and the politics aspects about it. We'll talk about a lot of politicians because they're all morons regarding politicians. And we do Q&As as well, which means if you have a question, put it down inside the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. My background is in business, finance, tech, law, and cybersecurity. I also own a blockchain startup company as well. And I also believe that education needs to remain free. So I will never charge you for anything. Everything I provide is completely free of source. Education needs to remain free, is what I believe in. I've always believed in as well, and stand by it. And we also have a Telegram group as well. If anybody wants to join, the link is in my apologies about that. The link is in my X profile, or if you're watching us on YouTube, it's on my YouTube profile. So join the Telegram as well. It's called the CMF Telegram. Amazing place to be. We have people from all around the world, different backgrounds, different jobs. Everybody respects each other. It's a great community of people to be in. Genuinely mean it. So if you enjoyed this live show for the first time ever and you're watching it for the first time ever, drop a follow, drop a like. And honestly, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody from the CMF, which is the name of this live show, the CMF live show. Thank you so much to everybody from the CMF that tunes in to every single live show every single night. And this live show starts around 11:25 p.m. every single night, UK time, 11:25 p.m. So thanks so much to everybody that's been tuning in from the CMF every single night. And for tuning in to episode 37, which is what this one is. CMF, thanks so much to every single one of you that's been tuning in. Thanks so much to every single one of you that's been engaging in the comment sections as well. And thank you so much to every single one of you that's been tapping on the screen on X and on YouTube. And just like always, the outro of this live show is, I will see everybody tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. But before we go, we have a few questions in the comment section. So, the comment section questions are: X, do you filter certain comments funky? Yeah. Get some sleep? Yeah. What do you think about Kronos? What do I think about Kronos? Crypto.com's coin? It's good to go. Crypto.com is doing quite good things for itself. It's regulated, and that crypto project is going to do well in the long term. Good night, fool, and thank you. Another wonderful evening, Brother Miles. Let's go, Frankie Brother. Frankie Brother, see you tomorrow, sometimes usual. When I brought my Tangent, I didn't ask for seed phrase and only works by tapping the card. Can I change it to seed phrase or is it too late? It's a bit too late. You have to factory reset it. The process is a bit long. I'll say just stick to the option you have now. The other process is you have to factory reset, and in case you do something wrong, it might end up bad. But you're good to go still with the card. And you got 3 cards, I'm guessing, so you're still good. Another great live. Thanks for everything, Miles. Take care of CMF. Ray, see you tomorrow, brother. Same time as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF. Thank you, Mike. See you tomorrow, brother. Same time as usual. I have to work now, Miles. Also, we are celebrating AZ Zach Day today to commentate and recognize the service our soldiers provides and wars for our freedom. Let's go for that. If you're in Australia, happy. I don't know if you're supposed to say happy, but if you're in Australia, regarding what Shelley said, they're celebrating right now the AZ Zach Day. Let's go Australia. Although the government are doing a great job of stuffing up our freedom, which is a fair point as well. Thank you. Let's go, Shelley. Shelley, see you tomorrow same time as usual as well. Thanks again, Miles. Adi, see you tomorrow same time as usual as well. Great show as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF family. Foxy, see you tomorrow same time as usual as well. In seed phrase option, best for Tangent Miles. Yeah, seed phrase option is always the best when setting up. Good day and good night to everyone. Let's go, Shelley. See you tomorrow same time as usual. Good night, Miles. Coin, see you tomorrow same time as usual as well. Peg, see, thanks, Miles and CMF Peg. See you tomorrow same time as usual as well. I will see everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. Once again, if you did enjoy this live show, drop a follow, drop a like. Either one, if you're on YouTube or X. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Pronounced as Anzac. Pronounced as Anzac. Thank you for that, Shelley. Happy Pisces. See you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. Thank you, Miles. Good night, CMF. Pure, see you tomorrow, brother, same time as usual. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. Good night, Miles, and thanks to the family for your help. Good night, all. Troy, see you tomorrow, brother, same time as usual. Family, thank you so much for helping Troy out. Susie, thank you, Miles. No problem. See you tomorrow, same time as usual, Susie. Flea XRP, good night, Miles. Flea XRP, see you tomorrow, brother, same time as usual. I will see everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day and a good night, depending on where you are around the world. I'll see everybody tomorrow for episode 38 of the CMF live show on X and YouTube Live. See you tomorrow. Sometimes everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. See you tomorrow.